Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria said that local oil marketers set the price at 1,225 naira, that is $0.96 US dollars per liter for diesel, after securing a bulk purchase agreement before adding their markup. Right? Okay, that is something. Now, if you recall that Melikari, who happens to be the head for the NNPCL, and sometime, if not 2 weeks ago, I want to try to lay my heads around that one, had promised that the Port Harcourt refinery will begin, to get fuel out to general public. We just hope that after this, next thing we want to hear would be the Port Harcourt refinery, getting on, with the fuel product, so that we can indeed begin to have a robust and competitive, market that allows for the pressures that has been brought about as a result of the processes of fuel, on Nigerians to subside just a little bit, if not to bring some levels of development, some levels of livelihood, to the Nigerian society. Now, the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has said that the FCT's 1.28 trillion naira 2024 statutory budget will revolutionize infrastructure provision in the nation's capital. So the minister, who made the statement during a media chat with journalists in Abuja, had said that the budget will not only cater for the provision of roads in the FCT, but it will also prioritize the health care and education sectors, as well as the Abuja Metro Line, among other projects. Well, Governor Adebola Adeleke of Osun State has reiterated enforcement of approved guidelines as a condition to enjoy the new retirement age of 65 years and length of service of 40 years for teachers in Osun public schools. Now, this was contained in a circular by Anyanleye Aina, the Osun State Head of Service, on Tuesday in Osogbo. And Zamfara State government has ordered immediate restriction of movement along the state's borders with Katsina and Sokoto from 7 p.m. to 6 a.m. Now, the Commissioner for Information and Culture, in a person of Manir Haidara, disclosed this to journalists in Gusau on Tuesday. And then we should also let you in on the fact that a former president of the Nigeria Labour Congress, Ali Chiroma, is dead. So Chiroma died at the University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital, Maiduguri, Borno State capital, on Tuesday. His soul rest in peace right there. And yes, finally, this one says bandits on Tuesday attacked a mosque in Gusau, capital of Zamfara State, and kidnapped scores of worshippers. It was also learned that the attack was carried out when Muslim faithful were observing the famous congregational prayer Tahajjud. Right. Now, this is really not a very good and palliative, story to hear. And you would also recall that some time back, the governor of Zamfara State had come out to saying that his state was under siege, and that if nothing was done, the siege by bandits would spread across every other state of Nigeria. And we had some deliberation on that, but then we just hope that the security forces will indeed come to the aid and do the needful. We want to thank the security forces, the combined joint task force as well, as the vigilantes who have been working tirelessly to ensuring that our society is rid of kidnappers and all sorts of crimes. Well done. But then efforts needs to be intensified so that we can indeed continue to make giant strides in this regard. But then let's get on to the dailies very, very quickly, starting off with the Vanguard newspaper. Big story, this one: anguish as 30 children, others get kidnapped in Katsina, Zamfara Delta. Right? Page 8 has got that story. It's got a couple of writers to it. 1,087 Nigerians kidnapped in March 2024. 1,087 Nigerians kidnapped in March alone of 2024. And let's also have the bandits killed man, abduct wife, neighbor in Zamfara. Another writer to that one: disrupt prayers at mosque, abduct worshippers. Zamfara government restricts movement along Katsina-Sokoto borders. Gunmen kidnap two Varsity students
we are doing. The issue of bundle. What is the issue of these SIM cards being registered? This morning, sorry, there is one of our callers here, Odonoja. He says you can track this money if you want to get this. Look at the children that were adopted some months ago. We heard that these children, they now brought them back. What happened to those people who kidnapped them? Do they arrest them? Do they go for them? So it becomes a merchandise on some certain quarter towards some people who are making big money out of it. So until we come to discover their sponsorers, the root of all these problems, we still have the same problem. Okay, Dangote refinery has started. I think by now we are not having what is called importation of fuel again. I think the price should keep down. Because one thing I believe in this country, that anything that goes up will not come down again. But it shouldn't be so. So they should try their possible best, because they complain that why the fuel is high is that they import it from outside. And today, we are having the fuel this is refined in our country. And again, there was a promise that the Nigerian refinery will start production in 2 weeks. I don't know whether you are aware. Have they started? Thank you. God bless you.
All right. Thank you, Moses, for that one. Right there, taking yet another call. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning, my dear brother.
Yes. Good morning to you.
This is Alami from Barranca. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Yes. The news, I received the news of the proposed increment, or the plan of proposed increment in electricity tariff with mixed feelings.
Yeah.
Well, I have always been saying this: essential services, such as electricity, fuel, and others, they are not cheap anywhere in the world. Though anywhere in the world, they remain the country with the cheapest of these services that is being offered to its citizens. However, the bone of contention is, the level of stability in the and availability of it. So, for those who are very, very much comfortable in the power in the energy sector, there is no need speaking too much grammar about it. Right. If we want, stable electricity supply, we have to invest at least over 1 trillion, over 1 trillion naira in our transmission infrastructure. And then do not forget, the federal government might be paying the subsidy, but at some point we have to face the reality, and they might be proposing it is time for us, to have priority list. There are some communities, that up till now they are not paying electricity bill, and then they are still receiving power supply. How will you be supplying power supply when you don't care? So there should be a priority. Those who can afford it should be given. That they should be paying the bills, the whatever it is that will take them to enjoy stable power supply. The increment was expected. It's not. Nothing is ever contract.
Okay.
If you must achieve the stable power supply, must also be ready to pay for it. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Alameen, for that one. It is something that was already on the way, and that it is expected, and well, then that's what Alameen says, and that's what he thinks. But then the conversation is still out there, and many still believe that the major function of the government is also to see to it that the citizenry are indeed not just carried along, but then they also enjoy some essentials. And subsidy on some forms of the economy is just one of those functions of the government in order to allow for the citizenry to enjoy some sense of belonging. I mean, but then you thinking about the subsidy removal in a time like this is the question that many Nigerians are saying. Even though it might be something that should, that's on its way coming a long time, but for one reason or the other has been diverted here and there. But in a time like this, Well then. Anyways, let's get on to the WhatsApp portal number. But before we do so, let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Yes, good morning.
How you doing now?
I'm fine, BB.
I greet our caller. I greet the man of Mark before. Salisa, God will bless you now. God will bless you too.
Bless you too.
So I want to ask, where please here in our church, in Japan, tell us, so let us know.
Is it what? Okay. Well, you know, BB, at some point in every man's life, there is always a place where we get to say, we take the bow. Yes, no problem. It's listening, I'm sure.
We thank God for your life.
Right, thank you.
God bless you.
All right.
My name is BB Blessing. Can I hear say our president don't come back, huh?
Okay, that's not been confirmed yet.
So we thank God for the journey mercy. We thank God for the Nigeria, and we thank God to meet us too. Now, we don't come. If really our president is listening for us, me, BB Blessing from Osako, I tell president, say, before something the way they move, we are not benefiting anything. Now that cost of price of market is increased. We just say dollar and stock yesterday, we stock down. But when you go to the price of market, the price of fish is increased. When our dollar they drop, I don't know the reason. We want to ask our president, what is the cost of our dollar? Wait, the dollar don't come down now. Price of fish for market is increased. Right now, it's still how much is it for 3,000? Maggi now is still there for 1,000. All you still there for 9,500. I don't know what is our benefit, what is the common man benefit. I want to tell our president, as he don't come back, issue of security may start going. People will go back. Make them get people where they go secure them. And not these people where they are supporting Boko Haram. Please, if they arrest them, please, let them carry them go to the land of no return. Please, we don't suffer enough. I beg our president, next time election, now president, now only you to come out to be a president in place where he travel to. What is going to be our example? What is going to be our faith? I hope coming election, we go need to go come out. I think it's about over for us. We are the leader of tomorrow. We are the youth. Please, you want to be a president.
Okay,
Nigeria.
BB.
Please, now beg that they beg our president.
All right,
hey,
BB.
Us well. Good.
Thank you. Yeah, all right, BB Blessing right there. You've made some great salient points. But then let's jump into this one right here via the WhatsApp portal number and, of course, bring it to your eardrums.
Good morning, Udwab Daniels.
Good morning to you,
Good
too,
morning,
Selassie.
Talatu, Elder Onoja, and I greet the listeners and callers. Osman Dora, I greet you. Abdullahi Mekano, I greet you. I want to start by talking about the good news. You know, Dangote started supplying of diesel. That's a good one. And the petrol will be supplied by May. That is a good news. Some people say, so Nigeria choose to the bad news. They will call and be complaining. So now we are hearing the good news, and you can hear me appreciating. And even the GMD of NNPC say our refinery will start working this April. We are waiting. You know, they have been promising and promising, and we hope and believe that it will start work this April. So I want to comment on the issue of kidnapping, the insecurity in Zamfara. Now they kidnap people in Zamfara. In the mosque, so they enter mosques and kidnap people. We are still talking of kidnappers in Katsina State. That Bas Ali local government. It is the same local government that even when President visited home, that was former President Buhari visited home, they came and kidnapped about 300 boys. When we say who are behind all these things, if they say these people are released, how do they take release? How do they pay their ransom? How do these people reunite with their family? So people say, Nigerians shouldn't ask questions. So long they are no. I say if we don't ask questions, it will keep reoccurring. This is what is happening. Look at what happened in Katsina. Look at what is happening in Zamfara. Zamfara and Kaduna State now has become the home for these terrorists. So this insecurity is so alarming. It's so alarming. We are urging the government to do the needful. Thank you.
All right, Selassie, right there. We are urging the government to do the needful. Taking yet another one.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
My name is Abdul Ahmed.
All right,
what I'm listening to pass is a very good information. Please, I want to use this opportunity to complain about a guy. He's a local vigilante guy, huge, fair in complexion. There are two. They used to go up and down to invade children, even young men. They invade them, they stop them on top of Okada, they search them, they search their phones, and they are not police officers. They are impersonating police. So, and they wear something on top their clothes as if they are SARS. That is holding this SARS the way they dress. Right. That is the way that particular boy and his colleagues they dress. They will use Bajaj machine in the name of police. That is what they are doing. And whenever they are doing it, they used to go and stand in the market, Morada market, They used to patrol on the road with they saw another merchant carrying guys that looks like what they call Yahoo boys. It's not written on forehead. When you are well dressed, they will stop you and search you, and they will behave as if they are police officers. I saw them time without number. They are searching people's phone on the street, which even the real policemen cannot do. Then they are doing it. So police B division, A division, C division should take note and fetch that boy out and give him the last warning not to do that, because very soon he will be caught by mob action.
All right. Well, then, if that information is as much as we appreciate the fact that you're putting it out, to the public right there, which of course is very necessary. But then, if that information too is very, very clear and clean, what efforts are you making to ensuring that you go to the nearest police station and lay a complaint, lodge a complaint? All right, and talk about this and let's see whether or not they would not spring into action. But then we ought to be really careful in a time like this when quite a number of things is going awry. Yeah, and when you see something, you say something. You don't keep it to yourself. You don't keep quiet. You don't say that, after all, no be my consign. Waiting consign me, right? You don't do that. Right, you get on to the necessary authority and make it clear to them that this is what you've noticed, and you're only lodging, a complaint so that they get to do the needful in terms of investigation, right? And they get to the root of it. All right, but then this is indeed credible. Thank you. Is laudable though to speak about it, just for those who probably do not know the antics that's going on this time. It might just be some information for you. But then let's get on to this call. Okay, we lost that call. Maybe we can just take one more call and then we would call it a close for the pages on Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja. But just let's also put it to your ears the fact that you can visit our website at www.eaglesfm.com. You can download our app on iOS and Play Store. Link with us across social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, X, and that would be at Eagles FM Abuja, right? And the number that you could also call to get through to us at this time would be 0907 353 0044 or 0908 766 8888, and the WhatsApp portal number is 0909 705 4450.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, please. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, my name is Usman, calling from Guarimpa.
All right, Usman. Let's hear you.
Okay. Let me start with the issue of our president visiting the inauguration of Senegalese president.
Yeah.
I hope he has learned from, let me say, the speech that the young man did about being Pan-Africanist. Because unless, for instance, we Africans, not Nigeria, not Senegal, not Niger, not whatever, we unite and try to, let me say, understand this imperialist tendency that keep on under developing Africa as a whole. Now imagine Nigeria having a crude oil, but still we are importing a PMS. Imagine Nigeria, we have a power, source of power. We have the nuclear on, we have the hydro, we have the solar on, but still power is still a problem. So what I would advise the president is that you see, you can't be, let me say, a puppet or a citizen to these Western countries and expect Nigeria will develop. No, we will keep on suffering in this mess. Because how on earth will we allow IMF to be, let me say, part of our economic team? You see, they asked us to remove subsidy on petrol. We did it here, we are. And now they are asking Mr. President to remove subsidy on power. And where is the power? What I expect the president to do is to even review this privatization issue. Because this privatization is a scam, corruption in it, and what have you. They say that it's about distribution. Are they not in business? Why are they not fixing the infrastructure so that we can be able to have power? This is the kind of money they say that, after all, we know that government business is all about service delivery, not profit. So you see, here we are. I hope our president has listened to that speech that that young man did. He said that the West, if they mean business with Senegal, is ready to make business on equal basis. And this is it. Let us do business with them on equal basis. And here we are, running to them for loans and what I do. But still Nigeria is in a standstill. Where is the infrastructure? Now we are even relegated to beggars, or let me say, studies. We are even a kind of a slave, begging for palliative and what I do. Even as a result, people are dying.
All right.
So you see, unless Mr. President tries to understand the Pan-Africanist movement that is sweeping around Africa, many countries have adopted it as they say no, the West, no to the West.
Okay.
And try to look inward. Africa will have the population, more than 1 billion people, we have the market, we have everything to develop our continent, not even the place of our.
All right,
these people, we have to give them a radical break. Just as other countries we are doing, see examples of Senegal now.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that. We cannot go any further, but thank you. You've made your points as loud and clear. Right. All right. And yes, enough dependency on the West right there. And then it's high time we began to build our own industries. It's high time we began to solve our own problems. It's high time we began to look inwardly and try as much as we can to have the feeling of an average Nigerian and the pain that they go through, and then begin to act accordingly, because Nigeria is ours, right? Whether you're north, whether you're south, whether you're east, whether you're west, when we say that there is kidnappings, when we say there is abductions here and there, it doesn't just affect, the Muslims, it doesn't affect the Christians, it doesn't know tribe, doesn't know face, doesn't know anything. It just happens to everybody. They say when they rain, they fall. It falls for everybody's roof, right? So it falls on everybody's roof, right? Sometimes we hear the kidnappings as, in churches. Some now you're hearing in mosques. Where does it not happen these days? So it just calls for a concerted effort, not just the security people. We too have a role to play, right, in making sure that we nip this out in the bud. And what is our role? Our role is, when you see something, you say something, you go to the necessary authority and you make your point clear so that investigation will be carried out. Well, Vicky Vic is already in the studio, is already with his laptop, is standing agile and kajad, and he's ready to have that conversation with you on Sports and Eagles Wings. Keep in mind that at 9 a.m. we'll be back to talk more on political issues on the Eagles Outlook. My name is Udwak Daniel.